Hello, everyone, and welcome back to River City Runs Red, our Vampire the Masquerade chronicle here at Restless Barbarian Gaming. I'm your storyteller, Aloysius, and I'm here with all my lovely players tonight. It's good to be back, everybody. Highlight of the week right here. So, once again, per the usual, I'll have everyone go around and reintroduce themselves, and then we'll get into what happened last time, and then get straight into it. And we'll start go in a clockwise motion, and I'll pick on Pluto first this time.
Oh no! I was fully muted. I was taking a sip of my drink.
Oh no! You're not the new kid anymore.
Hi, I'm Pluto. I just joined this season. I will be playing Scully, who we got a brief introduction of last time. But yeah, that's me.
Is that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you go.
Fair. I had to visualize it. Hi, I'm T. I play Yvaine Big Money Mallory, your favorite anxious-go-lucky fuck up, essentially. She's doing really good so far this season.
No.
11 episode, but hey, the ball can only roll up, right?
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see how it goes.
Unless
She's doing
she
so well
says
so
that it
far.
starts rolling back downhill at you again. So
I believe in her.
anyway, sorry, didn't mean to jump in early. Hey, it's Tom. Playing Ephrem, the Malkavian DJ who only cares about himself and apparently doesn't care for what happens to his coterie mates. So I don't know. That's him. Yeah, so.
I'm Jen. I'm playing Delilah Cole, who is a Nosferatu. She's growing some, lines of rot on her face, as Nosferatus tend to do eventually. And she's she used to drain rats, but since she had a drink at the club, she's like, no, this is better. So we'll be doing something else instead with those rats. Mm-hmm.
She's like, maybe rats aren't for me anymore. Maybe
Yeah.
I gotta get a hold of whatever this is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Well, when last we left off, there was a lot of there was the whole revelation of Saris Williams' true identity to the coterie and sort of the potential shit show that could unfold in the near future. And then after that, the coterie sort of split up to do their own things, cover various points of ground. Ephrem ran an errand for the Malkavian Primogen Jasper Santana as his whip, so he's kind of obligated to do that. Delilah was chatting up the harpy at Elysium, Pixie, who was also Nosferatu, and they were exchanging mask care routines.
Mm-hmm.
And Yvaine had a eventful chat with the prince that went, or seemed to go, shockingly well. Although she was very clearly pissed by the time Yvaine was leaving that meeting. But all in all, she didn't immediately lose her shit. So, a good sign, potentially. And then, separately, Scully had a run-in with an acquaintance, Florian of the Hakata. And then later on in the night, Merrick ended up basically trying to convince Scully to at least meet with the coterie because, quite frankly, they could use some more muscle in whatever they may have to deal with in the near future. To which Scully said, I'll at least talk to him, but no promises. And that is where we will pick up, and we're just gonna pick up the following evening, so everyone's going to awaken, and I'm going to need rouse checks from everybody.
Okay. Let's see if I can find
It's
that.
a 6 or above, right?
Indeed.
Stupid. And that's
Jen,
9.
you just click the little skull on your character sheet.
All right, I got an 8.
All right, success.
Yeah, I think that one's fine. I don't know.
We both failed.
Oh.
Okay. So Ephrem and Delilah, you both get hungrier. Big Money and Scully, you're still good for the time being.
The hungry gang.
Only-
Yeah. hmm
I'm at 3.
All right. Delilah, how hungry you looking?
Delilah's decided she's going to take out all of the rats and send them into a field because she's feels like that would be better for them and didn't really think about, having all these rats. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So all the rats get loosed into a nearby field.
Mhm.
Probably should go invade one of the neighbors' homes.
They probably will. But
Just a question.
Yes.
Can she change her predator type?
Yeah, she's able to.
Okay.
Yeah, like as the game goes on, yeah, if it's like, farmer, not really doing it for me anymore. I think I need to change it up.
right.
Good to know. Okay.
Yeah. And your predator type, unless you're like very strict about it, it's not like a hard set thing. It's just how your character prefers to feed. They don't have to feed that way all the time.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
It's just, if possible, that's what they prefer to do.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, so Ephrem, Delilah, you both get a little bit hungrier. And Yvaine, you wake up to a message from Merrick saying, invited an acquaintance to meet with all of you. Can you please make sure everyone's at the house, if possible, within the next few hours?
Okay, she'll page back, sure. And then she'll page, I talked to the prince. And then ... crying face. I like the colon, the apostrophe.
Yeah, however you emote that, yeah.
But then after that, she'll wait 2 minutes because she's just reliving the trauma of the previous night. Though it went well, I suppose. All right, and then she'll contact the rest of the coterie.
All right,
She
and
can just say that.
yeah, and then sort of as you're contacting the others, you'll throughout that process you'll get a message back saying, "Glad you're not dead." Winky face, semicolon or whatever.
Mhm.
All right, just say, me too. Meet up sometime soon to talk about it.
All right, and you'll just
Send
message
a
back.
Oh,
Eh,
sorry.
Yeah, I would say he'll just message back real quick. 11 sound good? Question mark.
Yeah, she'll just say perfect. And so what time is it? So I always forget what season, or I don't even know if I asked what season we're in. Is it 8 when it's dark, or is it later in the day when it's dark right now?
I'll say at this point, technically it's March, so it's still darker a bit earlier.
So it's probably dark around 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Then did everyone sleep at the coterie house?
I was say I'm assuming Ephrem did not because he agreed to one night and one night only.
That's true. Yeah. hmm
I hate
Yeah.
But Van's just that's my best friends right there. Oh, it's the long con. All right. So then Yvaine will kind of just page, since I don't think there's like a group function in paging.
On a pager? No.
Fair enough. Man, phones would be so much easier. But anyways,
I mean, you can still use phones, just like for not, just so long as you're being covert about it.
oh, okay. She's just gonna. Does everyone have a cell phone?
Yeah.
I would be
You-
shocked if Ephrem did not have a cell phone.
Oh, yeah, he's always checking his phone. So
Yeah.
Does Delilah have a cell phone?
I think she's still using the
No.
not
kids?
she doesn't have a cell phone, but she's got like one of those little things like you can text people to, that kind of thing. So she's just
pager.
like a track
pager.
phone.
Yeah, like a pager or something like that. Because I think it's where we started, and so she's not really super well with technology, so she's kind of like guessing.
He's like, it works.
Yeah, it works. It's fine. Mm-hmm.
Then
Ties a note to a rat and sends it.
Yvaine will invite them by messenger pigeon. Put a bat signal literally up in the sky. No, she'll just page them both then. And then she kind of like makes a note like, get Delilah a track phone from the gas station. And some minutes for said track phone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll essentially just reach out to both of them and see if they can meet. Like, hey, Merrick has someone he'd like us to meet who may be able to help us while we are looking into everything. Can we all meet around 9:30, 10?
Yeah, I can do that.
Ephrem
That's the little
texts back.
thing,
Ephrem texts back. Have a dinner date. Be late.
Okay, we'll see you at 10:30. Also, I'll go over what I spoke about with you know who. All right.
Ephrem needs to feed. So
Fair enough.
Very fair.
Then Yvaine will just kind of also page Merrick back and say, 10:30 sound good for your friend?
And he'll message back saying, I will confer with them, and then get back to you.
Okay. Awesome. And then the last thing she's gonna do. Well, okay. There's just two things I think really that she is going to do because she slaked a bit of thirst the night before, so she feels like, okay, I'm pretty all right now.
Yeah.
She's going to clean. She's going to deep clean the house since we have guests coming over. That's exciting. Wow. But also, she is now going to actively look and see all or any missed messages from Frey and finally try and respond, I suppose.
All right. Well, there was your the one that you had seen and then promptly ignored, which and then
Her best work.
yeah, very good stuff. And then you got another message like earlier this evening saying we should do dinner again sometime.
What day of the week is it again? Are we still like
Now
in the week?
currently it's like technically like Saturday night.
Saturday night? Okay. Well, meeting with Frey before this. Making Frey wait longer also seems kind of like pushing of the luck. That's still her sire. Even if she's a little like, I don't want to talk to him right now. She'll say it's like 7 o'clock right now.
Yeah, give or take.
She'll say, She'll say 8:45, and she'll name like a restaurant that Frey likes to go to. I'm sure she knows a few of the places he likes to frequent. Probably more lounge than restaurant, really, but
yeah. And he'll message back saying, same place as last time.
okay. She will. I said 8:45, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She'll just kind of like put in a reservation with the place and make plans to be there. Just thinking. It'll be fine. Yeah, she'll be fine. She's like, should I message someone and be like, hey, I'm gonna meet with my sire real quick in case I'm late? That's why.
That is entirely up to you.
No, it's
Yes. You know Delilah is in the...
She'll leave a note. She'll just be like, meeting with Frey, but just kind of like put it on the coffee table or something and head out.
All right. Okay, so and then shortly after Merrick's done messaging Yvaine, Scully, I'm assuming you don't have Merrick's number, and if you do, it's probably not saved in your phone. So I'd say you get a message from an unknown number, saying it like with the address attached, and saying, "Does meeting at 10:30 or 11 sound good to you?"
Yeah, the number's most likely not saved. I doubt that. I feel like it's a little concerning to have his number saved, because that would mean a lot of interaction with someone.
That is fair.
But they will simply send a thumbs up, and 10's good. 10:30 is good.
All right, and then you'll just get a thumbs up back.
Short and to the point.
Yep. See you then. All right. Well, I guess in the meantime, Scully, are you up to anything? Is there anything you want to do before the meeting?
Well, their hunger is looking great because I haven't been here long enough to even get that much hunger. But just like disregarding that, I think that usually what she'd be doing on a night like this is just like kind of most likely going for like a drive, but since she has other things to be doing in a few hours, she might not. Maybe check where the place is, maybe check around where the place is to make sure it's not in a particularly like shady area. Shady for vampires, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You sort of like look up the address and you see that the house is in Fulton Heights, which, according to various like online sources, whether you actually believe it to be true or not, is one of the quote best places to live in Michigan, end quote.
Is this an actual quote about the place?
This is an actual quote. Yes. Yes, I had it pulled up just in case this got asked, and it says Fulton Heights is in Kent County and is one of the best places to live in Michigan.
Not an ad.
Yeah.
Okay. But like now I'm gonna look it up. But I'm assuming it's like
living in Fulton Heights offers residents a sparse urban feel, and most residents own their homes. Fulton Heights, there are a lot of bars, restaurants, coffee shops, and parks.
Yeah, so it's in a suburb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so like no like particularly dangerous stuff. Probably needs to go fill up her gas because when she needs to feed, she goes
Yeah,
pretty
no,
far
it's
out.
yeah, it's definitely not the type of place where you have to worry about like a random gang activity going on at 9 p.m. at night or anything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, probably quick little trip to the quick trip for gas. Make sure that dressed all right.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Especially when you're not Detroit.
Uh,
Yeah, pretty slow. So I think that's
all right, sounds good. So Ephrem, you said you wanted to feed.
Yeah, he's gonna go by the Diablo Club. It's early, I mean, so it's playing only about 9 something. So he's hoping one of the E's is there. Brittany,
Yeah,
Bethany, Lindsay.
yeah, one of
one of
the
around.
One of the usual suspects.
Yeah.
And
he will turn out awe just in case.
Okay. Just to help the odds, and remind me your predator type. You're an Osiris, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Let me double check that. Dice pool. Let's see. Osiris. Okay, so I need you to make me a manipulation and subterfuge roll or an intimidation and fame roll.
Fame?
Well, okay. Manipulation plus subterfuge or intimidation and fame.
Where's fame?
Fame is a merit that you, or like a background that you have. So like whatever your background dot is in that, you get to add that to your roll.
I got you. I don't think he even has anything in that. So he's probably just going to go subterfuge and...
Wow, so then he's just really full of himself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's not humble at all. Let's see. So he wants manipulation and... Okay. 2 successes.
2 successes.
Yeah.
Well, you go to the Diablo Club, and it's pretty familiar territory. You're here all the time. People know who you are, and sort of like looking around for one of the potential usual suspects, and you find Courtney.
Courtney, okay. He won't remember which Courtney she is, but he'll recognize her.
Yeah, one of the Courtneys.
One of the Courtneys. So my.
He's a horrible person. So yeah, he will walk up to her and says, "Hey, Courtney, what's up?"
Oh, hey. Not much. Sort of just, enjoying the evening, I guess.
It's a little early. I didn't expect you to be in this time.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to enjoy a bit more of a chill atmosphere before things really started going for the night.
And he will give her a big hug, so that he can like sniff her. He's really creepy. So yeah, so he's gonna like sniff her, and he'll make some small talk with her for a couple minutes. Before he's kind of looking around to see if anybody's kind of watching. Does she have long hair?
Yeah, she's sort of got like sort of some dirty blonde hair that sort of like goes down to like her upper back.
Okay. He is going to suggest they go to his lounge, which is like his office in the club, and then he is going to feed from her.
All right. Well, you said you wanted to see if anyone was watching you, so make me a wits awareness roll real quick.
Sounds good. I will be honest, that is a possible bestial failure.
Ooh.
I would love to lie, but I shan't. So,
All right. Good stuff. In that case, give me one moment. So I can look up the exact. Yep, okay. In that case, since you're sort of looking out to see if anyone's watching you, but you can't really tell, but you still feel like someone might be. And so I'm going to say you suffer from a paranoia compulsion.
oh, never. No.
Um,
All right. Yeah,
so you
around.
are overwhelmed with fearful paranoia, looking to disengage from a threat or suspecting anyone near the potential threat.
Okay.
Any action not taken to getting away from not taken to getting them somewhere safe suffers a 2 dice penalty. This ends when you have spent roughly an hour in a safe space.
All right, I guess before they go to the lounge, he is going to pull out his phone. He'll look like he's like, oh shit. He's like, you know what? I gotta go. I'll catch up with you later, Courtney.
Oh, sure. Sounds good.
All right. And if she tries to touch him, he's just gonna back off. So. And he's
all right.
So he went from being like hugging her to being like away from you, and he wants to leave.
All right, so I'm just gonna vacate the building.
Yes.
All right, so you.
Yeah. Now he has to wait an hour, right?
You have to spend an hour in a place that you designate as safe for you.
He'll go to his car.
All right. And sort of like as you're rushing out the building, someone opens up the door and you sort of just like collide right into them. You just hear a woman say, "Watch where you're going, asshole." And then sort of like as you look in the direction, you see the face of your ex-girlfriend, Jasmine.
And he was just about to say something. He's like, Jasmine, hey, what are you doing here?
Oh, hey, E. Just figured I'd go out for a drink. Nothing wrong with that.
Nah, I'm just heading out. You wanna go with me?
Make a. Well, you do have awe active right now. So make me a. I guess like what are your intentions here?
Probably to try to turn on the charm. Maybe charisma and performance to see if he can kind of charm her.
I would say make me a manipulation persuasion roll.
Okay.
At a -2 penalty, because of your compulsion.
Right. So -2. So I'm gonna take away from the vampire dice, not the hunger dice. 2 successes.
2 successes.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I can have 5 minutes.
Sure. And yeah, just kind of pull her kind of out front of the club. He's like, "So, how you doing?"
Been better, been worse.
What's up? Anything I can help with?
And she sort of just like pulls out a cigarette and lights it up. Not really. Just, general life bullshit. Work sucks. Dating sucks. You know how it goes.
You wouldn't have to worry about any of that. You stay with me. I'll take care of you.
Oh, yeah, because you're totally taking care of me with all those other bitches crawling all over you.
I didn't think that was a problem for you.
Well, the part that was an issue is you're a little too full of yourself. Because it's hard to care about somebody else when you care more about yourself.
I'm the provider here. I gotta look good. I gotta take care of myself. You think all this shit just comes free?
Yeah, you never actually cared what I wanted or how I felt. You just cared about how it made you look.
All right. And he's just gonna put up a hand and be like, all right, this ain't the time or the place for this. How about you have a good night? I'll talk to you later.
Whatever. Have a nice life, E. And she sort of like flicks the cigarette off to the side and just walks into the Diablo Club.
Oh my god. Because she is his touchstone.
Yes.
So remind me, touchstones you have to protect, right?
Well, okay. I mean, technically no, but bad things happen to you if bad things happen to them.
Yeah. All right. The player knows. The character is enraged, but is gonna try his best to just stomp away. So, plus there's cameras outside and all that, and he's just
oh jeez.
He's not. I mean, he's crazy. He's not stupid. So, yeah. So he'll stomp away. Gonna get in his car and drive somewhere else. You can move on to somebody else if you want.
All right, sounds good. Then we will move over to Delilah.
Okay, so Delilah has basically evicted all of the rats. She took a walk earlier and sent them free, and just kind of like, I'm done with this. This is not good for them. It's not good for me. So, and so she just came back to the coterie house and I don't know, taking a rest or writing something or whatever.
All right, you would get back and you would find a note from Yvaine, probably like put on the table or the fridge or something, just saying went to meet with Frey.
Okay. So I'll just write okay. She goes back. Yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm.
All right, so you get up to anything in particular? Anything else you want to do before the meeting, or are you sort of just vibing until then?
Yeah, that. Mm-hmm.
Vibing until then?
Yes. There's just too many rats. Done.
Yeah, gotta decompress from the rat release.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had like at least 30 or something
at least,
like that.
Yeah. And the screaming, when I come in, it's just not good. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good.
I mean, what else would a Nosferatu do?
I guess it depends on the Nosferatu, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then in that case, we will move on over to Yvaine.
I'm here. Sorry, had to trash talk Ephrem. No, I'm just kidding.
That's okay. You can do that.
All right, yeah. I think Yvaine's kind of like she cleaned and got the house kind of prepared, especially since Ephrem is coming over. And Ephrem's very particular about a clean household. And she's just so accommodating. So she's gonna do that, and then she's gonna head out around like 8:20 to meet at this place, this restaurant, lounge, whatever.
All right, sounds good. It's not too terribly far away. You get there and you actually show up before Frey shows up.
Of course she does. Oh. I feel like Frey seems like I arrive late and fashionable kind of person, so that's fine. She'll just be taken like to their table, and she'll just kind of sit and wait.
All right. You head on over, and then maybe like 15 minutes after you show up, Frey walks in, wearing a rather nice suit, and he spots you almost immediately, and just makes his way over to your table. Oh yeah, like the hostess goes to like try and assist him, and he sort of just like holds his hand up and keeps walking towards you, and then takes a seat across from you. So nice of us to be able to see each other like this. It's been too long.
She just kind of smiles. Goes, yes, it has been a little too long. You look good. I'm glad to meet you. Hope you're having a good evening so far.
Yes, thank you. You as well.
So, can I buy you a drink? She's not making those faces, I am.
Yeah. That'd be very lovely, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna... Okay, sorry, I just have to let me just see something real quick. Odds no, evens yes. Okay. Alright, she's gonna do something that I think it is not big. She's going to essentially like kind of snap her finger and like wave their server over to them in a very Frey-like manner. She's gonna be completely like neutral, normal about it. This is absolutely, she did this on purpose, just to be a little shit.
Okay. So, waiter ends up coming on over and says, yes, hello. What can I get you?
Me, Tiara, I don't know the name of fancy red wines. What's best? Hold on, best red
Oh no.
luxury wine. I was just gonna say, okay, I'm just gonna go based off of what Google is showing me. I'll have a bottle of the Richburg Grand, which is a red wine, apparently, y'all. Just for anybody who's wondering. And whatever else the gentleman would like.
That sounds lovely. I think that will suffice, thank you. And
It better suffice.
and the waitress says, "Very well, I'll be right back." And she ends up walking off. Oh, you seem to be getting around as of late.
Well, if one doesn't stay busy, their brain becomes idle. Yes?
This is true.
What about yourself?
Been remaining in contact with a few people of interest. They've been keeping my attention.
Oh. Well, I hope your endeavors are going well.
Yes, thank you. I hope you know what you're doing by getting into your endeavors.
You don't have to worry about that. I'm pretty confident.
Well, I'm
There's
glad
an
that...
inner Yvaine that's like, it's like a tennis match in her brain right now. So she's like very nervous and would be sweating profusely if she had that bodily function. But she does not. But every time she manages to come up with the witty retort, she's like, "Ah, take that, you bastard!"
Well, I'm glad that makes one of us. And before long, the waitress returns with a bottle and 2 glasses and pours each of you a glass. And she says, would you like me to keep the bottle at the table? And he says, yes, that would be lovely, thank you. She places the bottle on the table and then says, is there anything else I can get the 2 of you? I think that will be all, thank you.
They say it at the same time.
And she sort of just nods at both of you and walks off. Well...
So, did you just come for the company, or was there something you wish to discuss? I am, after all, running around quite a lot, as you said.
What, a sire can't keep in contact with his child?
You never seemed the type.
I didn't think you needed my attention.
She's just staring at him right now. Looks just blankly. Okay. Can I roll like a wits insight? I guess I'm just trying to see if Yvaine feels like she can glean anything from his words. Like is he just speaking because he's like petty and a little bit mad? Is he a little bit jealous? Like, what's up with this? Why are we here?
Okay. Yep, you can make me a wits insight then.
Okay. Let's see. So that is going to be 5. Get out of here, best red luxury wine.
Yeah?
I got 3 10s, but the only problem is that I did get a 10 on my hunger die.
Ooh, okay. So how many successes total then is that?
Just because it's 6 and over, right? So just 3.
Okay, so then that'd be 5 successes because it's a crit. I mean, it's a messy crit, but it is a crit. So you do have this option if you want to try to avoid that outcome of being able to spend a willpower and re-roll your non-hunger dice to maybe cancel out the messy crit, but there's also the chance you may not roll as well.
And honestly, I mean, I feel like she could try and rein herself and like, or she could try and weasel out of, succeeding here and just kind of like, essentially like, let him take this one. Whatever. It's not important. If you can't read them, how is that different from any other time? But I think that like she's really kind of starting to get annoyed, and like I said, right? Like it's been a bit of time now since she's kind of like actively been trying to seek out like his presence, because he never really had the time of day for her anyways. And just just for the table here. So Yvaine is blood bonded, right, to her sire. That's pretty normal, isn't it? Like for a child, I think like when your turn, you're already blood bonded. Like,
yeah, it just the inherent nature of
Mhm.
turning someone into a kindred initiates like a blood bond, but unless like the sire keeps feeding them blood, then it just like naturally weans out because it's not very strong, so it hasn't like solidified. But
Right.
then it's like the constant feeding of blood that sort of like strengthens it and makes it
Mhm.
much more difficult to break, which is it's still possible, but
Right.
it is significantly more difficult. So, which usually either requires long amounts of separation from the child and sire, or the, in extreme cases, the death of one of them will break the bond between them.
Sure. And see, so that makes sense. And so I guess, and you could tell me what you think of this. In my mind, I believe that Frey would be the kind of person who probably like would want to keep her like mentally and emotionally thinking that she's like attached to him even through this mean,
Yes.
but also kind of knowing like what that does to the person, kind of putting that seed of like obsession and infatuation in their mind. Do also feel like he always kind of toy with her maybe a little bit by waiting to like the last possible moment to be like, oh right, and I need to show you a little bit of attention, of course, sort of thing.
Yes. Oh, I 100% agree. 100%
Yeah.
agree.
So I think just like probably with everything going on, and how tense their relationship has been like the past like 1 or 2 months, I just don't think that like they've really met in person or had that moment. So I think that they're kind of like, I think the obsession is there, but because of like time away, it's more of like it's obsession in a way that's just like, you never wanted to pay attention to me, and now that like I'm doing something, like you care. And so if this is what it takes to get your attention, all right, let's play ball a little bit. I think that's kind of the feeling that's starting to bud. Um but it's kind of weird, right? Because she's never really been very rebellious, and also she's not one to really express any kind of like anger at a situation. She's just like, well, I guess that makes sense that would happen to me, sort of thing. But now she's just like, you've been an asshole. And I'm kind of recognizing you've been an asshole, because I've met other people who are assholes in different ways, but not like you. You're a piece of work.
All right, so you sticking out the...
She's gonna go with the messy critical.
All right, sticking out the messy critical. All right.
She needs to get one over on him.
Yes, so before we get into the ramifications of that, I'll sort of like tell you what you glean out of it. You do sort of like get hints of both like, oh, he's just being petty, and it's not really a secret that he doesn't really care for a particular person that you're hanging out with as of late.
Ephrem?
Oh yeah, it's totally worried about that. Yeah, but you also, because you got a messy crit, I'd say you're sort of able to sort of gleam past the facade, or sort of like infer based off of his actions. He feels, or you can sort of like infer that this is likely how he feels, that he might be losing his grip on you, and he doesn't like that. So now we get into the ramifications of the messy critical. And just based off of everything that you said, I think this is the most appropriate ramification. You are going to suffer from the dominance compulsion.
Shit.
So, your next action is a competition, and the desire to gloat in the face of someone that you beat. Not able to. So any actions not taken to, not leading to gloating, establishing dominance, or challenging authority is made at a 2 dice penalty. This ends when you have beaten someone in some way and gloated over it.
Okay. That's a good one. Oh, and I think I know exactly what you would do for this. Okay. All right. Let me just see. Is there anything else I need to use here? Okay, I think she's just going to stare at him. Just kind of put her chin on her hands and watch him and sigh. Well, as fun as this verbal back and forth is, and in spite of how fun it is to see you after our time apart, I can't help but feel like you're trying to waste my time, and I do have things I need to get done for the prince. So, oh, sorry, I haven't had a chance to tell you about that yet. But maybe you've heard from her yourself.
And what would that be?
That's how she's gonna gloat. Did you not hear from her yourself?
Hear what?
Oh my. Well, this does put me in a bit of a hard position. If she didn't feel the need to disclose such information with you, I'm not sure if I'm quite at liberty to do so. So perhaps we should end our little dinner date here. She's just yeah.
Is that so? Tell
That
me.
may indeed be so.
Tell me what she said. And you don't feel him like you don't feel like he's trying to like influence your mind. You just feel this like already like innate pull that's been instilled in you over the years. Basically almost like coming from yourself, compelling you to want to tell him what the prince has said. Now, you can try to fight against this feeling if you would like, but that's what the blood is trying to compel you to do.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
I have 2 ideas for fighting this compulsion. 1, I'm assuming that she can attempt to fight it in whatever normal means there is to try and fight this compulsion of their... I'm guessing this is because of the blood bond.
Yes.
2, I guess my other question is,
Uh-huh.
could she potentially try to fight this by lying to him?
By
And
like
placing the blame of why she can't say exactly what was discussed on someone else. For example, Sheriff Aiden McCoy. I think this would be very funny.
I would say you might be able to get away with like a half truth in that method. I don't think you'd be able to like fully
straight up
lie since he's telling you to say what was said, but I think you could sort of word it in a way that doesn't give away like the full picture or anything.
If I were to fight the compulsion itself to just not say anything and I failed, would I then be able to give a half truth, or would I then need to tell the entirety of the whole truth?
I would say if you try and resist and then fail, then you would just have to say the full truth. And I will say, just so you have like all the cards on the table, if you want to try and resist, that is a resolve plus intelligence roll. And I would need 2 successes from you.
Like, where are any of these on here? Oh, okay. And I haven't used... How much willpower do you gain back? Like, how does... Because I know I used 2 willpower last night.
Yeah, each night you regain an amount of willpower equal to either your composure or your resolve, whichever one of those 2 is higher. That's however much willpower you regain each night.
Oh, we're Gucci then. Okay, yeah, she's gonna straight up try and resist, because she's I don't know why or when I was like, I'll give her a little bit of resolve, but that she does have resolve. I thought it was gonna look and it was gonna be like nothing. She is a lip noodle. But you said resolve, composure. Okay.
Well, resolve, the roll is for resolve and intelligence.
I'm sorry, resolve, intelligence. My bad.
Yes.
All right. And then, can you remind me? Because I feel like I gotta be reminded once a season, unfortunately. But what does utilizing your blood surge do?
Using your blood surge, you can rouse your blood, so you can make a rouse check like you do whenever you wake up for the evening. And regardless of whether you success or fail, you get to roll a number, because I think your blood potency is only 1. So you'd be able to roll 2 additional dice on top of whatever your dice pool is.
Okay.
And so if you succeed the rouse check, then you don't get any hungrier. If you fail the rouse check, you get a little bit hungrier, but you still get the 2 dice bonus.
Got it. Okay, so I got a 5, so I failed it. So I do get a little bit hungrier. I am now at 3 hunger. Okay, so let's mark that. And so then that does give me a dice pool of pretty good proportions. So we're gonna roll 7d10.
Nice. There's pretty good odds.
Please, for the love of fuck. Okay. Okay, I need to use a willpower. Wait, no. Did you say 2 successes? I got a 9 and a 7. So if it was 2,
that's 2 successes.
Okay,
that's
cool.
2 successes. That's all you needed.
I was like, damn, that's a lot of 2s and 4s. That I just...
Yeah. But you got just the amount that you needed. So,
Cool.
You feel that sort of like innate, compelling nature of the blood that's been instilled in you, but you manage to quell it and push it down.
So she's gonna raise it. She's gonna feel that. And I mean, I don't know if he kind of knows that, like, you know, she's trying to fight this or what.
Mhm.
But after a second, like she's just gonna kind of close her eyes and slowly open them and raise an eyebrow and say, "Is that all?"
Yes, I suppose it is.
Well, then you'll have to excuse me. I do hope that you enjoy the rest of the wine and have a wonderful evening, Frey. She's gonna get out and just kind of nod her head, say, "Good evening to you," and leave. And she's gonna walk normally. And she's gonna be normal until she walks out the door.
All right. I would say that would satisfy the dominance compulsion.
Thank you. Thank you. As after she gets out, she kind of like rounds the corner. She's gonna be like, "Oh, okay. All right. And she's gonna check the time. Be like, "You know what? Let's go. Let's go. Don't do anything to ruin this moment. Just go. Just go while you're good." And she's gonna head back to the coterie house.
All right, sounds good. So, you head on back to the coterie house. Is there any sort of like last minute things anybody wants to do before the scheduled meeting?
No, I was gonna have Ephrem try to feed again, but no, he's gonna show up hangry.
Sounds good.
Oh wow.
Well, Yvaine will also be a bit hangry, so you can be in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Delilah, after getting rid of all of her rats, has decided to go to the basement and see what's in the boxes down there because she started. She started like going through those and then didn't quite get enough time to finish. So she's probably down there looking in to see what these things are. So.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
Make me a wits investigation roll to see what you find from the thin blood boxes.
Okay. What was it? Wits and
intelligence.
Click
Wits and investigation, then wits. I forgot it's. I always forget it's backwards.
Okay.
On the website.
On the website. Okay. Yeah, I'm also dyslexic, so here we go. Let's see. All right, so wits is one dot, I think, right now, and then the other one was
investigation.
Investigation. Okay, let me find that one. I wish this would like be bigger. You know. Oh, investigation right there. Okay, so we're gonna do that. There's a lot of little boxes to deal with here. Well, let's just try that, I guess. Okay, so I roll. I don't think anything happened really.
No, you.
Mm-mm.
Let me get it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't include the wits when you ran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ooh, possible bestial failure.
Oh,
we're just on it tonight, guys.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me look up. Let's see. I feel like the Nosferatu one's appropriate for this.
Okay.
So, you're not really, sort of, as you've been sifting through the boxes, you haven't really been keeping track of which ones you've already looked through and which ones you haven't.
Right.
And so you're like, I've seen all this stuff already. I don't need to see another jar of toenail clippings or anything like that.
Right.
So you're going to suffer the Nosferatu compulsion, which is cryptophilia.
Okay.
Consumed by a hunger for private secrets, the Nosferatu seeks to obtain knowledge no matter big or small, as long as it's not a well-known bit of information. During this, they also refuse to give up their secrets, except in strict trade for something greater than their own. Any action not actively working towards gaining them a secret, they take a 2 dice penalty. This
Okay.
compulsion does not end until they learn a secret they deem to be useful. Sharing this secret is entirely optional.
Okay. So, I don't know what I rolled for that, or if I should roll something for that.
Nope, that's just what you're suffering from right now.
Okay. Okay. So she's just gonna go through boxes some more and hope that wears off.
Okay.
Well, it won't wear off till what she gains a secret or
Yeah,
tells us
until she gains a secret that she deems as useful.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, before long, the time of the meeting is approaching, and Scully, around when do you pull up near the house?
Scully's probably gonna be. She probably does that thing where you like get around the location. 'Cause I don't have a specific address for where she is, or like a specific area, like Grand Rapids, but probably does that thing where they like get into the area earlier and then like actually show up on time.
Okay.
So
Sounds good. So, when you arrive at the actual house, you do find Merrick outside waiting for you.
oh good. Yeah. So she's gonna just hop out of the car. I'm assuming there's like a not garage, but like place.
Yeah, they have like a driveway.
Okay. Just got like a older truck. Just gonna hop out of and nod to Merrick.
Good to see you made it.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
It's all just suburbs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's not too. She's like pretty relaxed right now because it's like new people, but also we're at the right address, and it's a very upper middle class kind of looking place.
Yes, it was kind of a bit of a crack den before the coterie got their hands on it, but now it's all nice and pretty.
Yay! I was wondering about that comment Tiara made earlier.
Yeah, that's a season 1 throwback right there. But and then sort of Merrick gestures to sort of walk up the steps to the house, and it turns to you and say, I figured it best to wait outside for you so you did not have to walk in by yourself.
Bad. Oh my god, my throat. 1 second.
All good, all good.
Okay, we good now. Yeah, chill. Nod and be like, that's appreciated. At least lets me know that I'm at the right place.
That is usually helpful, yes.
Pretty sure if I knocked on one of the other places' doors, they would call the cops.
Well, I would not dismiss that thought outright.
Alright. Let's go see. Well.
Alright. And then he turns and knocks on the door a couple times.
Meanwhile, Delilah's in the basement, not hearing this because it's underground.
I don't think Yvaine's there yet.
I would say by this point Yvaine would have gotten back.
Okay. That's fair. She didn't stay that long.
No, she wasn't there super long or anything.
Okay. then yeah, she'll kind of go to the door, open it up, and see someone she's never met before, and go, no soliciting.
And then
Merrick is right here.
yes, I was saying, and then Merrick sort of just like leans into frame.
Oh, Merrick. You must be Merrick's friend. Okay, come in. Sorry about that. We don't get very many visitors here, but we do get some weird visitors every now and again.
Thank you. And he steps on in.
They will go ahead and come in after Merrick gave Yvaine a nod. Kind of like looking at Yvaine, kind of like taking her in, I suppose. That sounds a lot more flirty than I intended for it to be. But like, my other option was sizing up, which is too aggressive.
Yeah.
Right.
Too flirty to. Yeah, it's like
Taking stock of her.
yeah, too flirty, too aggressive. Pick your poison.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Yvaine's just kind of. She's probably still in what she went out in. So like, just like a blouse, nice pair of pants. Doesn't have shoes on anymore because it's rude to wear shoes into the house and tractor in, and she doesn't want to have to vacuum or sweep again for Ephrem. So
yes, to which Merrick promptly takes off his shoes and puts them by the door.
Yeah, no, Scully does the exact same thing.
I'm just like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yvaine's like, she's like 5. I think she's like 5'8", 5'9", kind of like in between that height. Kind of like blackish hair. She does have freckles. You wouldn't see them because when she has makeup on, she just conceals all of them. She's a little bit self-conscious about that. And also, she typically always wears makeup and conceals her freckles when she goes to see Frey because she doesn't want to hear shit about her appearance. But she will just kind of gesture to the sofa or like one of the reclining chairs and say, I'll get some refreshments. We're still waiting for one other person, and I thought, I don't know where Delilah is actually.
And you sort of hear the subtle rummaging of boxes echoing from the basement door.
Right, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I now know where Delilah is, so I'll go grab her. Otherwise, something weird is happening in the basement, and that's concerning. So, if I don't come back up in 5 minutes, I'm probably dead. Anyways, I'll be right back.
I'm sure we will hear your screams if you are dead or dying.
Good point, quick thinker. She'll just kind of go and run downstairs real quick to get Delilah. Like, hey, you down here?
Yeah, somewhere. And there's like piles of boxes. So she's like raising up her hand, like, I'm over here behind the boxes.
Oh,
wow. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a Nosferatu thing. We all like to look to see what's in stuff, to see what we can use. Yeah, but yeah.
Far be it for me to rain on your parade. So...
Oh, it's fine. I've been trying to do this for years, so it's okay. I'll go up with you.
Okay, awesome. And then she'll just kind of like, she'll hold the door open for Delilah, but she'll page Ephrem and be like, ETA.
You just get, yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh god. First impressions.
5 minutes? Question mark.
And then probably about 2-3 minutes after that, you hear just a bam, bam, bam at the door.
Okay.
Actual-ish. Okay, so she's like, okay, well, hopefully that is Ephrem. And she's just be like, Merrick and his. I'm sorry, I forgot already. Scully introduced herself.
Scully had not been introduced yet. No.
Oh, okay. Then Yvaine will just kind of whisper, Merrick's here. His friend, I didn't get a name. I'm so sorry. I kind of skipped past that, but that's all right because I'll get the door and then we'll all introduce ourselves. And so she'll go see if that is Ephrem.
It is. I put a picture of him in chat for you. But yeah, he's late 20s, kind of thin build. He is wearing his sunglasses. Yeah, he does kind of look like Blade, which he realizes is a joke. Probably wearing like a leather jacket tonight or something. T-shirt, jeans, boots. Kind of starts to stomp in, and he's like, shit, here. Takes off his boots, drops them, and starts to walk in the room, and then spins and looks at Scully and looks at everybody else, goes, who the fuck is this?
Remember, Merrick wanted to introduce us to his friend, the person who will be helping us.
Hello, friend.
Everyone, this is my associate Scully.
Scully nods, does a shortwave. I think tonight she's dressed in just like cargo pants and like t-shirt. She looks very, very, very just normal. And then she's got lighter brownish, tannish skin, and like I'm pretty sure I changed what she looked like, but did not change it in my notes on issue. But she has like black hair, crop bangs. Hair goes about like shoulders, and they will go ahead and say, "Well, nice to meet you too." To Ephrem.
Ephrem will just kind of stomp over to a chair, sit down. He will take off his sunglasses and just wait. You can tell he's irritable.
That is Ephrem.
That's pretty easy to tell, actually.
Oh, he's a little more irritable than usual. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Maybe kind of like just thumping his foot on the floor.
Mm.
So,
That is Ephrem.
Mhm.
This is Delilah, and this is
Hi.
Yvaine.
Hello, it's nice to meet you. One second. It should just kind of, like refreshment. Is it weird to serve chilled blood? I don't know. Is that a thing that we could have, like in the?
The only people who can like drink like
Are there specific people, isn't it? Okay.
yeah,
But like wine should be fine, right? Red wine is typically okay.
it depends. That's also sort of like a dependent thing.
Mm.
I would say because it like only people who the only people who can like drink like chilled or like coagulated blood is like people with the iron gullet merit, and only people with like humanity 8 or functionally humanity 8 or higher can drink wine.
Okay.
I'll say the like blood wine at Elysium, that's like a little bit of a different story because there's like special properties to it and all that sort of thing.
She don't got that. She don't got that refreshments. I'm just thinking, what counts as refreshment?
Could have found a rat. Should have kept one of the rats.
Well, she goes, well, there were rats. There are no longer any rats. So, I don't know.
Yes, I did see about 30 of them scurrying across the street on my way over.
Strange. Somebody must have put up traps or sprayed or did something. Maybe a predator moved in.
That could be described that way, yes.
So, Scully, it's wonderful to meet you. Merrick just kind of briefly mentioned that perhaps you could provide us with some assistance and maybe just kind of hearing what exactly that entails would put some of the other coterie members at ease.
I need to quickly recap. Merrick didn't say too many details on why.
No, he said he said like at the meeting he would answer any questions he could that Scully had. He just said, all I'm asking is that you meet with these people, sort of see how you feel about them, size them up, that sort of thing. And if you're like not feeling this at all, then you can bow out. But he's like, I at least want you to meet them and hear out the situation.
Okay. Well, Scully's first thing to do is to look towards Merrick. Not like full on turn, because that would be kind of strange. But they are going to go ahead and say first, I would like to know what kind of situation you guys have gotten yourselves into. Merrick, I think it's time to cash in as to what's happening that needs my help.
Yes, I agree that now that both, and he sort of like looks over at Yvaine, that now that both major parties have been informed, I think it is safe to say it's all right to put all the cards out on the table that we're working with. Yvaine, if you would not mind going into detail about what exactly went on with your meeting with the prince.
Scully raises her
Sure.
eyebrow.
Sure. But I suppose to get into that, it would also be good to just kind of give a brief summary of events thus far.
A good point.
Kindred have been winding up dead a second time in Ward 2, Manarch territory. And it seemed to be potentially the work of a human group called Revenge. Creative, yes. However, some of the kills didn't seem quite the same, and we had a thought that perhaps someone was using whatever this group of hunters was doing as a cover for something else. Much of what has been confirmed by some certain events, which I won't get into just yet, until we all kind of feel a little bit calmer and comfortable with each other. But needless to say, one of the victims found had connections to the prince. And the prince would like us to continue looking into what is going on with the help of the sheriff and the hound. Because this was essentially the best possible option, as you can likely guess. Finding, I suppose, kindred aligned with Camarilla in Anarch territory, one would think that somebody also is potentially trying to get the two sides to war with one another, which would probably destroy this city.
got that why me look on my face again. Scully's kind of digesting that a bit because, oh, a straight up war? I'm not saying that out loud, of course. But I mean that rings a bit of a bell from what Florian was talking about with the cleanup stuff. And just like a bunch of thin bloods? Or that's directed towards Yvaine, like kind of guessing for the information.
Saris wasn't a thin blood, right?
Saris was not a thin blood, but the other corpses that were in that apartment were thin bloods.
Okay. Yes. A few of the other victims were thin bloods. The kindred connected to the prince was not.
Is that the only one? Because I think word is likely starting to spread.
Like, was that the only one that wasn't a thin blood? Was that the question? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that it was a mess. As in, they were liquefied, essentially.
I would say that checks out. Yeah, everyone, they were like pretty gross, to be honest. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. You would have to ask Merrick. We more recently started investigating into this, so that's all that I know about. But I would be surprised if those were the only kindred that have been found.
Yes. There was a separate incident prior to that one that my associate over in Ward 2, Opal, had dealt with, but that was more in line with Revenge's usual MO. It wasn't until that second one where Saris was found that there were some divergences, such as the missing anatomy of some of the thin blood bodies, which is what led us to believe that potentially, for at least those kills, perhaps again in the future, perhaps not, but for at least those ones, this group was being this mortal group was being manipulated by someone else for some purpose. The first incident also appeared to be revenge, but that seemed to be solely them. So whether they're being manipulated or not, they still prove to be a problem, but it is not a potential war-causing incident.
Okay.
And that leads us to the kindred that, or I don't want to say that definitively, this creature that Ephrem encountered. Ephrem, if you would not mind.
Yvaine's gonna look at Ephrem.
And he's still like tapping his foot, like real, like he hasn't stopped since. You mean the fucked up elf-looking thing who tried to cut me open? Yeah. I don't know if he was kindred or not.
And
Ephrem. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No. I'm assuming that's why I'm being asked as muscle.
It would not hurt, but there are a lot of unknown factors at play that we need to be prepared for, whether it's them or mortal hunters. It would certainly pay to have someone with a little more combat experience assisting this particular coterie for both the benefits of us and them.
This makes so much more sense now. Yeah. Delilah, you really are kind of the only one who can fight here.
Yeah.
Like in our immediate group.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't protect yourself and then also two other people. That's probably pretty hard.
We'll see
Okay.
what happens if it needs to be, but Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I'd certainly prefer a war not break out. God knows that's...
Yes. I think everyone here would be in agreement on that particular matter.
Definitely. And I might have some information, potentially, about what we could be dealing with. I
And
did get a
And that
chance
catches Merrick's attention. He sort of like raises an eyebrow.
It would take a lot more like trying to look into, I suppose, to someone who might have a little more in-depth knowledge, but according to Sheriff McCoy, there's like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like people know generally very much about these creatures. But the mention of the body parts taken as trophies seem to have jogged some memory with him. And that I 100% forgot the name.
He said that sort of like based off of the description and also based off of what he was able to do, that he believes that it is either a Kiasyd or a Magar. He didn't elaborate on what those meant, but other than they're fucking dangerous. But he said it's probably one of those two things.
So what brings this thing to our beautiful little burg? Is it working with these humans? I mean, is it using the humans as tools? I mean,
your guess is as good as mine, is as good as anyone else's here. The sheriff said that these creatures tend to be more solitary, and when I mentioned kind of some of the unhinged behavior that you said that it displayed towards you, he did seem to think that that was a little odd.
and why does it have my number? Why is it coming after me? Any guesses?
I mean,
He's still got a little paranoia hanging around. I don't know if it's been quite an hour, so.
I'd say the
Why
paranoia
is
is
it-
still going.
Yeah.
what would be like? Is there like a role that I would be able to make for Yvaine, just to see like if she kind of has any background knowledge about Malkavians, I guess?
Sure. Are you sort
Because
of
she
like...
knows that, she knows that Ephrem's like the Malkavian whip.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which is a pretty new development.
right, it's a new development, and also like it is a prominent position of a sort, but it's not like there are probably other people who have more connections or whatever who are higher ranking. So it's just like she can't think of like what would him being the Malkavian whip have to do with anything essentially.
Yes. I will say, and like Ephrem may or may not remember this because there was a lot going on. But this guy did mention that like seemingly like why he took interest initially in Ephrem specifically was that they had apparently, according to this guy, they had run into each other one other time before, but he made sure Ephrem didn't remember the first time. So
that's important.
So he seemed like when he was, yelling all his various stuff. He was like, "It's fate. It's meant to be."
Damn.
They're in love.
That's exactly it. He was thinking about like, damn, it's so romantic how I'm about to pluck this guy's eyeball out of his head.
Right. This fucking thing was like, let me get on Reddit and just misconnections thread.
Oh god.
And so seemingly that was like at least the initial thing. Whatever he had planned once he had him, that
is unclear.
That is unclear.
Okay. So Yvaine's kind of like, I mean, it could have something to do with you being a Malkavian, but like there are also other Malkavians that this thing probably could have targeted. So I don't know. I feel like Ephrem, you would probably be the best person to guess why someone would want to come after you.
He seems a little more irritated by this. So you're saying I did something to provoke this thing somehow?
No, just that maybe there's something about you that it wants for some reason.
Well, everybody wants me. I mean,
Are you saying that it's in love with you? That seems like a really.
I mean, he
he
was pretty fucked up looking, but I mean, it's possible. I mean, I am the full package, but I just, that's not the kind of attention I guess I want right now, and anything, the fucker tried to pull my eye out, so I'd like to, maybe just like cut off his head.
Did it say anything weird to you? Like,
lots of weird
why
stuff.
It wanted your eyes?
And Storyteller, I don't.
He said, no, this is probably going to be not exact. It's probably going to be paraphrasing, but he said something along the lines of, because that like before he was about to pluck your eye out, he came in with the eyeball of the of one of the thin blood bodies that was at the crime scene, and it was like being preserved somehow in some sort of liquid, and he said something about basically needing like a comparative sample, essentially, to like see how the physiology is like similar and different and that sort of thing.
Ephrem is, he's thinking over. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He's thinking that over, and he's not going to say this out loud, but he's thinking about the visions he's had. And maybe this thing thinks he's some kind of prophet or something like that. He's not going to say this out loud. He's just kind of just saying, I don't know.
All right.
Sorry. I don't know.
What was that?
Wah!
Uh-huh.
I think Yvaine's just kind of looking at Ephrem just like, well,
That's all I got. That's all I got.
it's that is okay. You just talked about wanting to pluck your eye out.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I don't know why, and it's fucked up, and we got to kill this thing. And I'm really fucking hungry. So are we almost done? He doesn't give a fuck.
For someone who wants to take care of someone who's trying to kidnap you and take your eyes, you don't seem to want to like do that other work to figure out who it is so we can take care of them. Like, I think this is a part of trying to figure that out, right? Because we don't have
just gonna
anything.
stand up and be like, I don't have anything else to say. And he looks over at Scully. If she can help us find this thing and kill it, I'm on board. I'm going for takeout. Anybody need anything?
Maybe. She's Delilah is thinking that you're going to do something awful and not know it because you're getting very loud and anxious. So she's going to come with you.
He's getting very loud.
Yeah.
Okay, Yvaine will just kind of like look at Delilah, who's kind of getting up to go, and just be like,
He's a hangry toddler right now.
Yes.
So basically.
go get yourself something wonderful to eat. We'll kind of talk a little bit more and just figure out some logistics things and bring you up to speed later. How about that? Does that sound doable?
Cool. And he's already walking.
I'm going with.
Getting his boots on.
Yeah. Going with.
All right, sounds good.
Very leave in advance. It's just like.
Not a team player.
With a lot of
sorry
logistical work.
Well, you can always rely on Delilah to try and keep him out of trouble. Keyword
I don't
being
even think that
try.
Jesus could keep Ephrem out of trouble.
Try was the opportune word.
Yeah, so Delilah's definitely going with Ephrem wherever the hell he's going.
Okay.
And yeah.
Right.
I don't want to steer the story.
We'll deal with that. Yeah, we'll deal
next
with that in a few. Don't.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
we'll deal with that in a few. Don't worry.
Mhm.
Like, well, that was a bit unfortunate, but
Seems more on edge than usual. Not that Ephrem is the warmest individual. I am surprised he only seemed to last about 10 minutes there.
Yeah, he seemed rather twitchy.
perhaps he just needs time to work it out of his system, whatever it is.
He's got a sensitive disposition. I'm sure that once he's ready to talk, it will be fine.
What's
She would say he's a good guy, but that would just be a straight up lie. So she won't say that. It's just,
No, he is an asshole.
he's a little bit sensitive, and that's fine. He'll process it however he sees fit, whether that's in a healthy way or not. We don't get to say it, but well, at least it seems you've got the approval of one of the most difficult people in this group, Scully. So that's good. That does mean that if you would like to work with us, at least it shouldn't become nuclear right off the bat.
Oh, thank goodness. I was going to say, the whole thing with collecting specimens, since that seemed like something that creature was interested in. I mean, there's all sorts of like things out in the natural world that when you come across them, a lot of people want to collect them. Like gynandromorphs, for example, those are the ones that are like split down the middle, different sex on both sides, that kind of thing. But like one of those more rare things that happens. I hope it's not an overstep from my end. She does have the biology specialty, so it's like her brain would go to that. But
I think at this point, any insight is helpful insight, no matter where
Agreed.
it's coming from, because we have very little.
I can maybe see about. I'm not close with the Hecata, but I could maybe reach out to them, see if they know anything more about the creature.
Yes. If it knows or has an affinity to Oblivion, which has been reported, especially according to what Ephrem said, it can do, then they may prove to have some useful insight.
Mm.
Okay.
Is there anyone that we know of who, in the city anyways, who, I don't know, is more research oriented that might have some information that we could look into about these two different creatures? Seems like something a collector might have on them.
Yes. Well, as far as people who are sort of like knowledgeable in the occult, if you want to go general, the Tremere are always an option. Whether they'll be helpful is another story, but they are certain to have like various like pieces of information on more niche occult topics. If you like due to the sort of like Oblivion connection, you could pursue either like the Hecata or try and talk with some of the La Sombra who are in the Camarilla, who may or may not know something about that, since both of those clans are sort of tied to Oblivion. They just harness it in different ways. For like specific individuals, you like outside of like the people that you already know, that may require some like digging around to figure out like who may have like specific knowledge on this more like seemingly niche topic.
Okay. I need to know a little bit more. Well, if I'm looking into the use of Oblivion itself, would it be helpful to talk to, you said they utilize a similar power but in different ways? Both the La Sombra and the, was it, I'm sorry,
Hecata.
was it
Hecata.
Hecata, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, Tremere, Hecata. Tremere, Hecata. Hecata.
Yeah. Make me an intelligence occult roll to see if you like know how exactly they use them differently, or if you just know that they do.
That would be 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. You don't know the exact like nature of what exactly they're tapping into specifically, but you know that the Hakata are, well known as necromancers. And so they sort of seem to use Oblivion to sort of like tap into like their necromantic arts, whereas whenever the Lasombra use Oblivion, it tends to be more like shadow based.
Okay. Based off of what Ephrem described about this, don't you do it. Sorry, 1 second. Get down. Did it seem like the use of Oblivion felt more in line with like shadow or more in line with like, I mean, it didn't seem like Ephrem mentioned anything necromantic, but I'm not really sure what necromantic would look like.
And he wouldn't have known what it was, so he just knew it was creepy.
So you could infer that maybe there's some weird necromantic shit going on with corpses, but the only thing that Ephrem definitively knows that he saw, like, as he was fleeing from him, he saw the guy's arm reach out from a shadow in front of him, and that when he tried to get away from him initially, he like caught Ephrem in a shadow and basically like ensnared him that way.
Okay. Okay, so perhaps just based off of what Ephrem did disclose about the powers he saw at the time, maybe asking a little bit more from a Lasombra would be helpful in trying to determine some things. However, I feel like we also need to know how to like counteract potentially those powers, and I don't know that any kindred ever would want to give up that kind of information. But you know, I have an idea. I know who to ask. And maybe it will go well because the prince said they need help. So maybe they'll just help and it won't be a big deal. But maybe we can also look into Oblivion through Hakata. You mentioned you might be able to reach out to someone in Hakata, Scully? Would you mind kind of trying to find some information on that?
Yeah, I can certainly try. It's like a loose connection, but I can see, and I mean, if anything, this is a warning to them. You warn them that something weird is out. They tell us what the fuck it actually is. Maybe, if they can.
Are you good at, like, do you think you would be able to maybe try and probe for information about these two creatures without giving too much away? We don't want to instill panic. And also, we don't want to give people ideas about starting trouble while trouble is already brewing. There are opportunists in this city.
See, I think the issue is that when you come around asking about a specific thing, people are going to wonder, well, why are you asking about that specific thing? I can try to keep the details on the down low, but considering, I mean, hell, I might already have like a little bit of a, I don't know, who knows? I'll see.
Speculation should be expected, regardless of what we go and ask about. People will, if they are not in the know, then they will wonder why we are inquiring about it. We can certainly let them speculate and they can draw their own conclusions, but unless we trust them not to blab, then I think it's safe to just let them come to their own conclusions, provided they won't be causing active trouble.
That's fair. Or at least until we can formulate some kind of a story to push people in a certain direction of thought. But I don't have any ideas for that right now, so... However, Merrick, do you think that Baron Walker might have any information or knowledge about the Kiasyd or a Magar? He's been around for some time, has he not?
Yes, he may know something, or he may have a loose connection or two that he may be able to pull on. I can certainly inquire with him about it.
And I thought maybe I would also try and reach out to... Oh gosh, what is this? I don't remember. What is this? Scourge? I think it's Scourge. Is that Hassan's title?
That's Hassan, yes, he's the Scourge.
Okay. Just like maybe try and reach out to the Scourge and see if he's ever had any run-in with a creature like that or heard anything. I know that he also was in another role before becoming the Scourge for some time as well, so maybe he has some experience.
Yes, from what I have heard, he is among our kind, at least in modern knights, he is quite on the older, more experienced side, so he may have seen or heard some things in his time.
All right. Well, this was fruitful, right? Minus all the weirdness that happened about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'll make sure to leave your friend out of any questions I might ask the Hikata, of course. I do have to ask, though, because, I mean, obviously preventing a kindred war from breaking out is already pretty great. I do want to know what I might get from helping out, because I do have a job.
Well, in that case, I suppose, what would you like?
Also, is Scully like a younger kindred?
You could ask. They look about 20, like late 20s.
I mean, I don't know what Merrick might have in mind for offering, and I'm not quite sure how old or experienced you might be. However, if you do not yet have a mask, or if you don't... I'm just trying to think. Yeah, if you don't have a mask, or if you have information about your previous, life, and your heart was still beating, that you would like erased, I could do that for you.
I'm not gonna need that for a bit. Maybe in a couple of years, perhaps. You only look like you're in your 20s for so long, but...
And just like for explanation, so Yvaine, she's able to create masks for kindred, but she's also, let's see, oh gosh, I never kind of quite remember. Yep, so she is a cobbler. She can make masks for other people. I know that, so she does have the zeroed advantage, but I don't know if she is able to do that. I'm unclear if that is something that she is able to do with time and resources for other kindred.
Let's say that I don't think falls under the purview of Cobbler. Cobbler, to my knowledge, you can just make masks for other kindred.
Okay.
You can't necessarily like erase their former identities.
Okay.
Okay, because I know, yeah. So I think that might just be for like if you want your stuff done like that or whatever. But that would be what she could offer. She could also offer. She could also offer. She could pay you. So she said, she's like, well, if you don't quite need a mask yet, I could essentially, we could have a deal where when you are in need of a mask, I can create one for you free of charge. I can also pay you if money is a good motivator.
Scully's gonna think about for.
You want to name your price?
I'm good on money, but I'll keep a note on the mask thing. Just ask you maybe in a few years or something along that lines. Just hoping that, war doesn't break out. But besides that, I am decently fresh, so any like information, but like just general stuff. I don't have any specifics right now that I can't ask a couple of other people, but maybe cash in on some unrelated information to deal with the current work, since I'll be in on that for a but yeah, mask in a few years, information here and there. I think that's worth it if I'm going to be bodyguarding.
I think that can certainly be arranged.
Okay. I'm also fine with that.
Okay.
They won't stick her hand out to shake then.
Okay. Takes it. Nice firm shake.
I'm glad this proved to be a productive meeting.
Had me worried in the first half, but I think it came together.
With half the people left.
On that note, she just kind of was gonna page Ephrem. Hope you're doing okay. Smiley face.
And with that, we'll cut over to Ephrem and Delilah. So Ephrem, you're hangry. Delilah, you're also pretty on the hungry side.
Right, I ran out
I
of rats,
believe.
so
You let all the rats go.
they'll all go. They can go live their lives somewhere. Yeah.
All right, so what's the plan, folks?
Is there any bars, nightclubs within walking distance of here?
Oh, there's plenty of bars.
Okay. Then yeah, he's like hightailing to a bar. Delilah's probably like trailing behind him, and he's like, "You got to do something about that." Like, does she have her mask on, or?
No, she stopped wearing it.
All right. He's like, "Well, you got to do something about that." So he's like,
I'll
"Can you
just-
like hide yourself or something, or?"
Kind of. I mean, I'm wearing a hoodie. I could do that. It's fine.
All right. I mean, I can go in and get something for you and bring it out if you want. What do you like?
I don't even know. You're talking to a Nosferatu that generally has been, feeding on rats. I don't know what I want.
He's like, all right. Yeah, he's kind of made it clear he doesn't want her coming in.
Yeah, she's got that. She figured it out pretty quick.
Okay.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he will go in, whatever neighborhood bar or whatever it is.
Yeah, I would say
Applebee's, he
within
doesn't
within
care.
walking distance, it would sort of just be like a kind of neighborhood bar, sort of,
Okay.
you know, well put together, not like a hole in the wall dive kind of place, but you know, I'd say it's probably more like a sports bar.
Okay, that works. Turning on awe, which I think it doesn't. I don't think it necessarily does it stay on to some extent, or is it? I don't remember. I can roll it again. It's not a big deal.
I would say, well, yeah, all you're able to just to activate and deactivate at will because it doesn't require a rouse check.
Okay. All right. So yeah, he's going to activate awe then, and go in. He's just going to start, scouting out the place. Anybody sitting by themselves.
All right. So I guess in this particular instance, are you sort of like trying to go about your usual method for feeding, or are you gonna try and take a different approach this time around?
Probably a different approach.
All right. Let's see.
Sorry, my headphones are dying. So
Nope, all good.
Okay. So yeah, probably a different approach. Probably going to look for somebody who's sitting by themselves. I guess it's still fairly early, but there's probably people who've been drinking since happy hour. So
yeah. So probably maybe like flirt them up a little bit, kind of deal.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, I will have you make me a charisma and subterfuge roll.
Okay. Three successes.
All right. You sort of like look around, and there are like plenty of people sitting by themselves, so you sort of have your pick of the litter, essentially, of just like whoever catches your eye the most.
Probably looking for a guy.
All right.
Maybe a older guy. Maybe just sitting by himself.
All right. You sort of like look around, and you see one guy who looks like he's in like maybe his like mid to late 50s, sort of just like sitting by himself, drinking a beer.
Okay. Just gonna, if there's a spot next to him, I'll just kind of slide up, be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, how's it going?"
Oh, hey, it's going all right. Just watching the game.
Check his hand. You have a wedding ring on or not?
It does not appear that he has a wedding ring on.
Okay. He's like, he's kind of looking around. He's like, He's like, He just kind of makes a noise. He's like, beer good here?
It gets the job done. And then you see, like especially since you have awe activated right now, he's sort of like turned away from the game and turns to face you.
Yeah.
So,
like,
what brings you in here?
He's like, well, you know what? I just came into here to break a couple hundreds because I'm heading to Tattletales. He's like, and I really just came in to get some ones, man. Really. So, you want to go with me, man?
Sure.
Cool, man. He just kind of wave over the bartender. He goes, I got his check.
and bartender like walks over and sort of like writes out the check and hands it to you.
Okay. And slaps down like 100, whatever,
Yeah.
way more than
Yeah, I was
than,
gonna say you like slam down 100, and the bartender's like,
probably like, is this real? No.
yeah. I'm just like, and
out
the bartender's
all
like, I'll go get change, and
it's all good. It's all good, brother. And he just kind of wrap his arm around the guy and be like, hey, what's your name again?
and you see he's like taken a little by surprise, and he's like, George.
He's like, I got a girl for you, man. When we get there, she's gonna blow your mind. And he's gonna start to steer him outside.
Okay. You start escorting him outside, and you see Delilah. You see Ephrem walking out with an older man in his mid to late 50s. Like hand just yeah. I would say hand around him, sort of just escorting him outside.
And he's like, you got to meet my girl Delilah, man. You're gonna love her.
And she's got her hoodie up and like kind of.
It's like, I mean that's all right, but
no, come on, man. And he will guide him close enough that if Delilah wants to grab him, she can, or whatever her approach is going to be.
Okay. Well, I would say, since you've already scoped out a target, she's not
Right.
gonna have to like roll to,
No.
hunt.
I said I'd bring her something out. So.
You did, yes. Yeah.
And
So.
what his name? George.
George.
He's like, George. Oh shit! I didn't get my change. He's like, I'll be right back.
Oh, you should go
Oh,
get that then. Yeah. Just George, was it? Is that
Yep.
right? Yes.
And he heads, and he'll
Yeah.
leave
And you
Delilah.
and you've got like your hood up, so you're
Yeah, it's like
obscuring.
you really
yeah.
can't see
Yeah.
my face. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, are you Delilah?
Yeah. And you are?
George.
George. Okay, that's good. So what have you been doing today?
Just got out of work a few hours ago, wanted to, just go get a drink and watch the game, but yeah, a game is pretty boring, if I'm being honest.
What sport was it? I'm not too knowledgeable about that.
Baseball.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes those are good games, but sometimes they're not. So.
Well, yeah, but it was definitely one of those matches where the one team was just demolishing the other one, and there's no fun in that.
Right, yeah. Anyway, I'm Delilah, and I'm with Ephrem. We're friends, so no big deal. Yeah.
Good to meet you. So we were going to. I don't even fucking remember what he said.
Tails.
Yeah, we're going to Tattletales.
I think I've heard of that one, but I don't think I've ever been in that one.
So he's just dragging you along, also.
Kind of. I mean, we're friends, so it's fine. I don't know how long he'll be inside, though. Here, that is.
I see. So while that's going on, Ephrem, you went back inside.
Yeah. He went back in, and he wants to first kind of look around to see if anyone noticed that George left, besides the bartender.
Make me a what's awareness roll.
Okay. Possible messy critical.
Oh my god. You guys are,
Oh no.
You guys are just fucking on it tonight. I suppose you can spend your willpower to try and avoid that if you would
Yeah.
like to.
Yeah, I'm going to spend the willpower. So.
Okay. All right. So then, what'd you get for your total in that case?
Okay. So what? I'm re-rolling it then.
You can re-roll 3 dice.
3 dice. Okay. All right.
So you can try and avoid that messy
Yeah.
protocol.
And 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. You look around and you know, there are like plenty of people sort of like just chatting amongst themselves, and most of the people who are by themselves aren't. You can tell they're not really paying attention, and if they are, they're sort of just like half paying attention.
Okay. He's trying to make kind of a quick decision. He's thinking, you know what? We might have to split George. So he's he's like, you know what? All right, and then he's just gonna walk out.
All right.
And then head back to where I guess Delilah and George are still chatting.
Yeah, you walk out, and Delilah and George are just chatting it up right now.
Right.
Is there a spot where it's relatively dark, like on the side of this place or anything?
Yeah, you can like go like around the side, and it's relatively obscured in shadow.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna get out, put his arm around George, and kind of lead him kind of to the side. And it's all good, George. Don't worry about it, man. And he's like, here. He's like, I know we just met. You can trust me though. He's like, come here, bro. Bring it in.
And he sort of like just like stands there, and he's like, what's going on?
He's like, I will use compel if I have to, but he's gonna try to just maybe charisma and performance to sell it. Hey, I'm a good guy.
So you're basically like just trying to be like, we're cool, bro. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You do have awe active, so that's helpful. He's like, you see, he's like a bit hesitant about it because it's also like this like
strangers took me on the side of the building.
Yeah,
I know.
I would say 2 strangers took me to the side of the bar, and one's like a fair bit younger than me, and the other's hiding half her face, but seems nice enough. So,
I've been in weirder situations than this, so
yeah, me too. But yeah, so he's sort of like hesitantly, sort of like goes in and like goes to like do one of those like pat hugs.
Yeah,
because he's like, I don't know what this guy's looking for right now.
And he will, as he's pulling him in, he's just gonna kind of just put his hand under his chin and then just chomp down on his neck.
Yeah, and you see him sort of like flinch at first, but then he sort of like leans into a little bit.
Yeah, and he's gonna, and what Ephrem is gonna kind of like lean over and like kind of hold the guy's arm out to Delilah and kind of like wave it like, come on.
Okay, so Delilah will come over and feed a little bit.
Because we should each be able to take at least 1 dot from him without killing him.
Right.
Yes, right. I was yes. If each of you only slakes 1, then he'll be a bit woozy, but he should be okay. If each of you try to drink more than that, then that'll put him in like more like life-threatening situation.
Just gonna take 1 dot from him, and then I want to use cloud memory on him.
Okay, so Delilah, you also slake 1 hunger.
Yeah.
All right. And it takes a little coaxing from Ephrem to like pull back because you're used to eating rats and that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah.
And George definitely tastes way better than rats.
Yeah, she's learning.
Okay.
I don't know what I was gonna. Did I have to roll something? Sorry, I'm getting.
No,
No.
you just mark off 1 hunger from your character
Oh.
sheet.
Okay, I can do that.
And I got 2 successes on my cloud memory. If you want to
Alright.
have them roll wits and resolve, you can. Or
Sure, I can do that. Why not? Make it a bit more interesting.
and then I embrace George. No, I'm just kidding. And he becomes a new character. Not kidding.
Oh my. Yeah.
I'm thinking like Deadpool, like that, whatever that guy's name was, the like random guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're gonna be the collector of randos. You got Steve over at 7-Eleven, and you got George,
Yep,
the
Right.
Yeah.
guy from the bar.
Yeah.
But yeah, you seem to manage to.
Okay.
You see his like eyes sort of like glaze over a little bit, and he. So, after you like pull away and like seal up the wounds and all that, he sort of like stumbles a little bit, both from
and he's gonna
confusion
catch me.
and like lightheadedness.
He's gonna catch him and be like, George, you went to Tattletales and you had a great night. It was, I mean, you just had all the girls wanted to talk to you. You had a great night, and now it's time to go home and get some sleep.
Okay,
So-
I will say, cloud
Too
memory.
much?
I was like, cloud memory only wipes the last.
Okay,
10
then
minutes
never mind.
From his mind.
Then never mind.
Oh.
Okay. Then he doesn't remember. So really, then I guess I could probably just steer him back towards the bar. Right.
Yeah, you can just be like, you've had a bit too much to drink, buddy. Maybe you should sit
That's
down.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Then that's what I'm gonna do. Be like,
Mhm.
But yeah, like fully like rewriting his mind, that's like a different thing
that's
entirely.
fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Mhm.
I had a feeling that was too much, but that's why I wanted to
Probably, yeah.
try to sell it. So.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and it's about then that you get Yvaine's message.
Okay. And he looks and he's like, he just types back like, yeah, feeling better.
Hmm.
All right, and with that, I think that's where we'll wrap up for tonight.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you, all my lovely players.
It's not good
you.
to have a hangry toddler. So.
No,
Right.
it's not.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
definitely not.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up, folks. We'll be back here next Friday night.
Yep.
And we are playing another werewolf game next Thursday night.
Yay.
Bringing in a new player, Q's character, Skids,
good.
is coming in for his
Good,
first
good.
change.
Yeah.
So, and then the week after that, the whole cast comes back. So,
Hell
Nice.
yeah!
Nice. Okay.
So let's go ahead and wrap up, and we will see you all next week. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Good
All
night.
right. Bye.
Good night, everybody.